on live. The floor is yours, Dennis.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Men of Color Action Network booth. We're going to start off with introductions so you can get to know us and who we are, and we'll go from there. So my name is Dennis Funes, and I am a counselor here at Santa Monica College for the Office of Student Life and also for the Peer Navigator program. Mr. Greg.
Welcome. Bienvenido. My name is Jose de Jesus Hernandez, counselor in the Welcome Center.
Hi, I'm Greg Brookins. I'm a professor of accounting and I teach in the business department.
Hey everyone, I'm Daniel Hernandez. I am the Director of Activities for Associated Students, and I've been a student here for 2 years now.
Perfect. So who we are, so the Men of Color Action Network is a group of SMC students, administrators, faculty, and staff who advocate for SMC men of color while focusing on systemic, which is like academic, political, social change needed to optimize opportunities for career and academic success. So we got together as a result because of the killings of George Floyd and also the continuous police brutality that has been going on within our society. And we've been hosting a lot of sessions and workshops throughout the summer that have talked about a lot of things about systemic racism, resources, and also how we can best support our men of color here on campus. Some of the resources that we as a team provide, so we as a collective are a group of, like I mentioned, a lot of us on campus, but we provide a lot of support. So one of those things is being financial aid. And Jose, if you want to talk a little bit about financial aid, that'd be great as a resource. Oh, and I think you're muted, by the way.
Because I wanted to make sure it was all clear. One of the things about financial aid is really understanding what it is, what's available to you, how to access it, and how do you make it the most for you. For most of us, the students that come through here, this is the start of their journey. So one of the things that we want to make sure that we're aware of is how do we maximize the aid that we get. The first time around when you're doing the financial aid, it might seem like a lengthy process, but after you get comfortable and you understand the nuances of it, what it takes, it's really a simple process. And we're all here to support you on understanding what that is, how to access it, and how to go beyond financial aid and actually even begin to look into scholarships.
And also within our own network, there are a few of us who are counselors and also helping you plan for classes. So understanding who we are and knowing that we are there to support you in the whole process of understanding what a career means, different areas that you might want to explore. How do you navigate classes while you're at SMC? Because we know as you're coming to SMC, it can be a little overwhelming, understanding like, oh man, in high school, I was probably picked all my classes, but here I'm at liberty to choose what I want to study. And that could get a little bit overwhelming. So knowing that we can be there to support you in planning that whole process out, or even just asking simple questions. And the beauty of it is also that we have professors like Mr. Greg Brookins, which he's in the business department, that can assist you with that, right? And Greg, if you want to talk about, your experience also. And I think you're muted as well.
So many different departments, so many different disciplines on the campus. One of the great things about college is now you get to decide what's important to you. I'm in the business department, so I teach accounting. There are a lot of different facets of business, and so you can look into that. There's sociology, there's Spanish, we have foreign languages, we've got the sciences, we have the arts. And so a lot of that is just finding out, plugging into those things, and then plugging back into your counselors to find out what is your education plan? What's your pathway? Now that I want to do art, what do I need to do? Which classes do I need? I want to transfer. What is my plan for that? And so with respect to the various disciplines, I would tell you to be all in on just deciding what are some of the things that can work out for you. And as you get a chance to see those things, go after them. Don't be afraid. Get the counseling, get the answers that you need, but at the same time, don't be afraid to try something new because you may find out you love it, not just like it.
Mm-hmm. And I think as men of color, one of the things that we're not good at is asking for help, right? Is seeking out who you're like, oh, I don't know who to talk to. And it's easy for us to be like, you know what, whatever, I'm just going to leave that behind, because for myself, that's something I was guilty of. When I was in my undergrad institution, I didn't ask for help because I thought I can figure figure it all out. However, that was not the case. And I wish I had some type of support group like this that I can go to and be like, hey, you know, like, I want to take this business class, but I don't know how the professor is. And, you know, this group definitely provides opportunities because we are, as a collective, we have groups from all over, from the sociology department, business, Spanish, etc., who can assist you with navigating those courses as well. And also the cool thing is that some of our members in our group are also part of the athletic department. And for any student athletes out there navigating, okay, you know, what does it mean for me if I want to go to a D1, D2, D3 school? And knowing that you have somebody here who can assist you with those questions of eligibility and so forth is definitely very welcoming. And Danny, if you want to talk a little bit about your role as a director with AS. Very brief, by the way.
Right. Sorry, it's just like an echo. Like, I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but it's echo, and it's so delayed for me. So what's up, everybody? I'm Danny, and now I'm here myself. Oh God. Okay. So I've been a student at SMC for 2 years now. I'm majoring in Chicano studies. I'm here to give my experience with MOCAN and how much it has helped me out, especially now during the pandemic.
Sorry, Danny, do you want to, we'll get to the question later, but if you wanted to explain what AS is. Just as a
Oh,
overview.
sorry, it's just I can't hear. Okay,
No
so I work for Associated Students, and Associated Students is pretty much just the student government at SMC. We handle a lot of the funding and so many other things. It's such a great way to get involved, and so many amazing faculty and staff, especially students working on AS. And it's like such a good thing to get involved. There's so many ways to get involved with it, and you probably know from the AS fees that you guys have paid. When you pay those fees, you become an AS member, and so many benefits that come from it. Not as much now because we're online, but once we come back in person, you'll find out how many amazing benefits we get.
Perfect. And also with that, part of our Office of Student Life is also our clubs. So for myself, I am one of the club co-advisors where I oversee all the 80 clubs on campus, and definitely how to assist you in navigating all those different clubs on campus is also something, if you are interested, you can definitely benefit from. And also we have definitely a lot of our members are also part of student services programs like EOPS, the DREAM program, Guardian Scholars, and Jose, if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Things that I always encourage all students to explore are the different programs you can get connected here. A lot of these services are here to support you, to help you achieve your dreams. Most students come in here thinking that they'll be in and out in 2 years, right? But there's a lot of challenges and hiccups sometimes that we run into, and a lot of these programs are here to make sure that you stay on track by getting counseling services. Some of them provide book vouchers. The most important thing that all these programs provide that we should all be taking advantage of are the tutoring services. These are the first places we want to go to, get comfortable. Like Dennis talked about earlier, sometimes it's a challenge for us to ask for help. That's the one place you want to be at to make sure that you stay on track and you achieve your goals within that timely manner. And we'll talk a little bit more about, how do you take advantage of all these, so many different things and opportunities you want to take advantage while you're here at SMC. You chose to come here for a reason. Let's make the most of it. And we're all here for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And also, I mean, once again, one of the biggest things that a lot of us are a community. We definitely create a space that's a lot of questions asked, because even though we may have all the answers, we may know a lot, we also don't have all the answers. So we're always asking each other, hey, like, what do you think about this and that? And I think that's where it comes to helping you navigate the different resources that we have. So speaking about our experience while at SMC, we'll kind of talk amongst ourselves about how we got here, right? So for me, I grew up in Southgate, California, which is South LA near Watts. And I grew up as a first-generation Latino male and didn't really know the proper guidance of how to navigate college in itself. And it wasn't until actually when I got my master's in counseling that I realized, hey, there's this thing called like mentorship. And I'm like, wait, what's mentorship? And mentorship is simply just seeking out others who can help you be the better version of yourself. And that's where I actually had the opportunity when I did a program here at Santa Monica College that I met Jose Hernandez, which is right there. And he became my mentor because he guided me towards navigating conversations of how do you go through your professional life, right? And so, Jose, thank you so much for, it's really been a blessing for me. And yeah, Greg or Jose?
It's my pleasure. Es un placer. Real quick, Jose Hernandez, first generation in my family as well. I grew up here on the west side, went to Venice High School, ended up at Santa Monica College by accident because I had no idea what I wanted to do. They used to have paper and pencil testing. They would provide a bus at the school. So I jumped on the bus to get away from the high school for a day. And this is what happened. It was all an accident. And I didn't know anything about college. I didn't know anything about financial aid. My dad wanted me to be a postal worker because in his mind, he wanted me to have a secure job with benefits. I looked at him like he was crazy. How are you going to think that that's the only thing I want to do? But he didn't know any better. And this is why we have this space. The space is to help us understand the challenges that we encounter at home and sometimes how it isn't easy to be able to achieve our goals with just what we're equipped with. It took me 6 years to get out of SMC because I was one of those who didn't know how to ask for help, or I was too scared to ask for help. And then I didn't even take advantage of financial aid. And now I like to say I'm a pro at it because I want to make sure every single one of my students understands the resources available to them and helping them find their desire and their path so that they can make their first million before I did. And that's what I appreciate about our group and what we're trying to do for all our men of color. Because I know for me, it was a big challenge. This gray was earned through all the hard work that I did, and I didn't have to do it as hard. Maybe the gray wouldn't have come out so quickly, but it did, and that's okay. I own it, and I'm excited to be here because I'm here to support you, all of our students, to find their way, to be connected, and to enjoy their experience while here at SMC. Senor Brooklyn.
Thank you. Welcome all of you guys again. I'm happy that you took the time to be, because listen, you could have been any place else. You could have been on another call. You could have been someplace else. And so we're really thankful to have you here. And I hope you really take advantage of these opportunities to share with Daniel, Dennis, Jose, and I in terms of just what the opportunities are out there that are out there for you. I was born and raised here in LA as well. I went to high school 3 miles away at University High. So Jose's at Venice. He's probably about 3 miles the other direction. I'm 3 miles north. Born and raised here in LA. I went to school at USC. I come from a little different path. My parents and family have a little bit of college in them, but I never wanted to teach. Never thought I'd see myself in an institution. So I spent about 8.5 years in finance and accounting, and in particular in the entertainment industry. I spent 8.5 years there. I probably spent about 14 years in accounting. So when I came here, I was ready to be here. I coached baseball. And baseball was the one thing that actually brought me to community college, not the desire to teach, but I learned that through coaching that I was teaching. And when I decided I wanted to make a career change, I thought I'd like to do this at the college level. Some of the things to be aware of, and if you're interested in business, come see me or send me an email. And maybe if there's a way, Jose or Dennis, when we get to a point we can post up emails, I don't have a problem with you sending me an email and saying, hey, I'd like to meet up with you on Zoom, or I'd like to send you an email and talk before you take your first accounting class, or just to kind of help along in terms of what are the different things that you can do with a business degree or a business AA here at the college. So I'm all in because this is a great college and it's a great opportunity for you to transfer for those of you that want to transfer. It's an opportunity for you to get great career experience for those of you that want to be in career-oriented fields. And it's a great place for you to search if you're not quite sure. The last thing I want to pub is for those that are interested in some of our clubs, which are Adelante, that's our Latinx students, Black Collegians for our Black students. And I saw Fan's email about or his discussion. You are welcome. We're here for all students, so feel free to listen in and see if this is something that you think fits what you're trying to do. With respect to the Latino Center and the Black Collegians programs, those two programs support those students, and as a result, they have a relationship with us over at the business department where we actually have something called the career closet. So if you go on a job interview, being one of those part of one of those programs or taking a business class, you can come over and get a suit of clothes and go interview for a job. You get to keep them, and you can, basically gear yourself up to go get paid. So those are some of the things that I see from my point of view. And absolutely, when I put my information in the discussion, please feel free to use it. I'm not just saying it. When you email me, I'll try to get back to you within a day or two. The last couple of days before class starts, it's a little busy, but I definitely intend to reach to you if you send me an email. So thank you guys again for coming.
Perfect. And I think, Greg, you definitely hit on something that, as a collective, we all have different identities and we all have different backgrounds, but we all come together, to assist you. And that's why we are here in our positions, because we believe in the success of our students, especially you here on the call, and how we can best support you going forward. So also just wanted to note that on the discussion, you can just add your questions and we'll come back to it later on and we'll answer whatever you may have for us. So next we're going to talk about the student experience being part of the Men of Color Action Network. And Daniel, this is going to be all you, man. So first and foremost, tell us your journey and how you got to SMC.
My journey to SMC. Let's think. Okay, so I had a very bad experience in the K through 12 system, especially with like math and science classes. So I didn't really try at all, like once I got to high school. And I got sent to a continuation school. And luckily, the faculty there genuinely did care. And they made a requirement for us to graduate from there to apply to SMC. And shout out to them. They're awesome. I hope they're doing well. And it wasn't for them. I'd want to be here. And once I got here, I also wasn't very confident, like at all, with the academics. I had no study habits, no homework habits. My first semester wasn't good at all. If I really wish I had put myself out there more and asked for help. But luckily, I was in the Atlanta program, and I started talking to counselors, and I found out that this faculty SMC genuinely does care about our success. Like, it's so important. So once I start, like, they recommended me get involved with the clubs. So I joined the Atlanta club, and because of them, like all my friends from there, I started getting more confident and more motivated to try my best and do better in classes and get more involved. And because of that, I ran for elections in AS, and now I'm director of activities. And I never did anything like that at all growing up, so it was such a huge risk for me, and I'm so happy I did it. Like, it's such a great opportunity, and also academically, I've done so much better last semester. 3 A's and 1 B, like it's really good, especially considering quarantine. And now there's a chance I go to like really top rated schools like UCLA, Berkeley, maybe even Stanford. And I never ever would have expected that. Like I know if I'd ever be able to do those kind of things growing up. So like, I think it's my experience right now. So far, that's my experience so far, because still young. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. And what are the tips that you have now that you've kind of experienced your time at SMC for a few?
For 2
What
years
are
now.
some tips that you may have? Yeah, exactly.
One thing I seriously recommend, especially for freshmen, is join one program and one club. That's it. Like, don't overdo it. Just join one program, one club, and just get involved. Don't immediately just get out. Like, obviously get out of comfort zone, but don't just be careful. But obviously, just do those two things, and it will help out so much. Because for one, the program depending what program you join, it'll offer so many like resources like tutoring or counseling, therapy, especially now because of Ms. Rona. And then for the club, like I know a lot of the clubs that I've worked with or have been in contact with, they are really trying to find ways to be like interactive with everyone, especially not freshmen, just because of COVID. And it's just such a good way to make friends, two, find opportunities for leadership, which is part of the main reason I'm here. And it's really nice knowing that there's other people going through the same things as you. That's another really good thing about MOCAN. Like, it's like, so that's one thing I definitely highly recommend, just from the first, if you're a freshman.
Perfect. And Daniel is actually one of my mentees for
Oh.
our mentor mentee. So I'm going to ask you what define how it was for you asking for help, and like why is that important? Because I know you touched upon it, and and don't worry, Daniel, you can say what you want, man. I'm right here.
Let's see. I don't know. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I know, especially for men of color, it's kind of like, I guess, taboo to ask for help. It's difficult for us mainly. So seriously, don't be afraid to do it. Like if I did that my first semester, my GPA would be at least like at most a 4.0. It would have been so much better than it is now. I would have so much better in my classes. I probably get involved way sooner, and it's just such a like so crucial to ask for help because we can't do everything by ourselves. Like humans are social creatures. We need each other to achieve our goals. So please just don't be afraid to ask for help. Like you can ask me, I'll put my email in the chat later and ask anyone on the staff, especially SMC, anybody here, any of the staff, because they genuinely care. It's like I'm emphasize that a lot because they really do. Like that's one of the things I love about SMC. It's my home, and like every time I walk into an office, I know that like sure it's their job, but they love their jobs. That's one thing that faculty at SMC really is really awesome. They love their jobs and they love helping us out. So just don't be afraid to ask for help. It's not a burden on them. It's something they like to do to help us out and make sure we achieve all our goals.
And you're also now going to be our new student director. So he's actually going to be joining our Associated Student Government Board, and was very competitive to get. And you're one of the 16 who are going to be a part of this board. So how did you do it, man? I mean, this is like, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I know it was a process that you weren't even sure if this was the right thing. So how did you come out of that shell?
I just got out of a comfort zone. That's kind of like just the biggest thing. I went for it. Like when I was in the Atlanta program already, but then they encouraged me to join the club. And when I joined the club, I made friends with the board, and like they're all awesome. Shout out to them. I know the presence in the chat and the what's watching right now. And so they had elections, and obviously I said earlier K through 12 I wasn't involved in clubs or anything like that. So I decided just to go for it. I ran their elections, but I lost. But thing is, I'm so glad I lost. Like I learned so much from that loss because it wasn't for that. Like I didn't let it put me down. Instead of that, I used that as an experience to try harder next time. And I used that. So I ran for AS elections, which is such way scarier on a way bigger scale because around the entire school. I remember I had to get I think 50 signatures for just the run, and I got that like in an hour because I made a competition, I guess. So I made a competition. I just went around the entire school just getting signatures from random people, talking with them, and that really helped me out get more confidence. And that's how then I just ran for AS, and then it became online because Corona, but a lot like mainly a lot of help from I also asked for help and I got help from Dennis in my pitch, which is super crucial because I was so stressed about it. So I just obviously just going for it, asking for help are just so crucial for being a leader, I guess. I guess that's how I become a leader. But I really just put myself out there and I made awesome friends that would help me out. And one thing that I should emphasize is like, it's scary, but it really is it's really fun. It's like a roller coaster. You get that feeling in your stomach that's like it's just that weird feeling, but it really is fun. It's like a roller coaster. Yeah, that's kind of it. It's weird talking right now because like I hear myself. It's such a really bad echo, so I'm just trying to focus on that. But the
Do you
echo
think
is
it's
really
okay if he
bad.
takes off his
So I'm sorry.
headphones and just talks? Because it doesn't work.
I tried
Okay.
that already.
Okay. Let me
Yeah,
ask you
no.
a follow-up question on that leadership one. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like to be a leader and how that's kind of changed you in terms of is it hard? What are some of the things that you now have to consider being one of the leaders of the students?
It is a little hard, not too bad. Like one thing, like is like the faculty from AS, they really help us out a lot. They're always like saying if you need help, don't be afraid to ask us. And it's nice. It's kind of nice, especially I just had my retreat with the AS board. They're all really awesome. I was terrified because it's just AS. It's a big thing. I thought everybody was gonna be like super professional and just scary. But we're all students. It's not too bad. Like, remember we were messing around yesterday during our retreat. It was hilarious. Like, it's really fun. It's not too bad as long as you put yourself, if you put yourself out there and just don't like be obviously you're gonna be afraid, but who cares if you're afraid? Just do it. Thanks, Nike. Saw that, but like really just go for it. It's terrifying, but so fun and rewarding if you accomplish it. Sir, if you fail like I did for the Adelante club or like elections, just get back up. It's so generic and such an overused metaphor, but just get back up and just keep going because it will be so rewarding. And the friends and you will make along the way are just it's insane.
And so my final question to you, Daniel, is how has being a part of MOCAN helped you, and what do you see, you know, from your perspective as a student, benefiting from being a part of it?
See, well, MOCAN, it's really helped me out for one thing, especially for just because of Corona. Like I'm isolated at home. I got to stay inside, and it's like a good support group, I guess. Like joining in, like once, like it's just a safe space. Like it's kind of like we're all like at a bar. Like obviously I can't drink, but it's like we're all at a bar, just having fun and just talking about whatever. Obviously can't say it what we talked about because it was a safe space. We're supposed to keep it there. But it's hilarious. It's like seeing like all the faculty people like a lot older than me talking about things that I would talk about with my friends. It's very fun. And obviously it's a safe space, so like you can also like vent about like something that's happened, especially being a man of color. Like we do go through certain things that a lot of people other people wouldn't. And one thing that's good about it, but I don't really want to emphasize it, but I guess it's really good, is just the connections. Like the connections, like the faculty and staff that will like could just reach out and just ask for help about anything. I've really reached out to a lot of the people, the men from MOCAN, just for help on like applications or elections, stuff like that, or reaching out to other clubs or programs. And like it's weird, like it's a little weird, like law, like faculty knowing my name. Like I'm not used to that. Like it's weird. It knows my name, but for a good reason this time. Like it's kind of cool. It's a really good. It's just really fun and cool.
Perfect. Well, thank you for sharing. So
I think it's it.
So we do have a few minutes, and we'll kind of leave it open for the Q&A. I believe there were some questions already on there. If they weren't answered, Jose and Greg, if you want to assist with.
So before I begin with those questions, I also wanted to just note that in the lobby for Brazen, in our information about our booth, I put a link to our flyer that was created of our faculty and staff that are part of this group, and it's going to continue to grow. We have our mugshots in there, along with our email address and the departments that we work for you to access us for support. As of right now, yes, this group is predominantly men of color, because we're trying to create that safe space for us to help us grow and achieve our goals, both academic and professionally. I think we lost Greg there for a second. What else did I want to point out? The connection to the faculty. I think that's one of the biggest advantages of the students in this group, is to feel confident in addressing faculty. I know that sometimes we might feel intimidated by titles or by names, or titles that come with professors. And kind of like Daniel said, it's just the level of conversation that we have, it kind of grounds all of us. And then I think it makes it more, makes us a little more accessible, and that we are actually real people and that we care.
And also, just to echo that, because I think it's very important to know, is that a lot of our life experiences were shaped in who we are now. It's being a little vulnerable here, is that growing up, like I said, I didn't really know what the concept of asking for help is. And also the group of folks that I grew up around, it was considered weak, especially amongst the Latino culture, as a man of color, to ask for help. And didn't really know that. And being in this group, I was a little intimidated, because I'm like, how can I ask for help from somebody who knows so much? And they're just going to see me like, oh, like, you're supposed to know this, right? But getting over that intimidation factor was so important for me, and knowing that, you know, that was something that was put in my head at such a young age that I'm like, you know what, you should never ask for help. But combating that and always being okay with, you know what, it's perfectly fine to not know, because, you know, I can ask Jose, or I can ask Greg, or even I can ask Daniel about something, and I know I won't be looked down upon, right? So.
Jose, turn on your mic.
Sure. Sorry. Culturally, I think that's the way a lot of us are grown as far as males go. Pride and figuring it on our own. And I think that's one of the things I like about this group, because even at this age, you know, I still sometimes struggled with that confidence. And I'm part of a campus group called Academic Senate that is very involved on campus, that supports a lot of faculty, that supports students. And I know that in the beginning, when I first set foot into that space, I was intimidated. But what I also appreciated was somebody like Professor Brookings, who was part of Senate, who accepted me with open arms and made himself available if I ever needed anything, especially too now that I'm in charge of the budget and he's the accounting guy. So great resource to have, right? So it's definitely made it even a lot more comfortable for me as a professional at this stage and level. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'd like to drop some information in here as well, and really just encourage you guys to take a hold of it. I think one of the things that I get, because it's not just a question of us trying to pour out to you, but we're also learning from the students. And so Jose said something a little bit earlier about, you know, we're all grounded together. And so there's some things about what's going on now that you guys are closer to than we are. And there are some things that we've learned about over our years that maybe we understand a little bit more about. And that's where the coming together becomes very important in a group like this. And that's why what Daniel said about us trying to keep, you know, our discussions as private as possible, so people feel like they can share things that they're vulnerable about, or maybe a little bit uncomfortable about, and still feel like they can do it and not have it go travel around the campus. And so one of the things that I'm really impressed with is we have people from the vice president of student affairs in there. We've got faculty in there. We have counselors in there. We can basically run a college ourselves, just with the men and the caliber of men that are there, men that can help you. I see my friend Benny Blades on the line, who I tell people Benny has forgotten more about financial aid and how to get people money than I even know. He's forgotten more than that. So there are people and resources that are here, and you just got to come in to get them. You can't get them from far away, can't sneak in once every so often. Come in, build the relationships, and hopefully those relationships are the things that help you when things get a little tough. Those are the folks that you can reach to in a situation like what we've been experiencing with Corona and other types of things that we've looked at with the you know, the incident with George Floyd, et cetera. Those are the things that allow you to come together, is if you have a relationship. And that's what we try to build along the way.
Mm-hmm. And I also have a question for Danny. And this is, we didn't hear what your transfer goals are, if you plan on transferring. And I know you kind of said that you're thinking about like UCLA and Santa Barbara, which I hope you go to Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara's
you know.
a close second.
But, you know, just hearing like, you know, how that support is so crucial, especially when you're going to enter a stage where you're going to be leading our campus as a student leader, but also you're going to be applying to transfer, right? And how that's important for you.
I'm sorry, the echoing is so bad. Can you like maybe like type your question or something? Sorry, I was trying to like read your lips and go with the sound, but I couldn't hear a thing.
I'll put it on the discussion board for you.
Jose, are we able to hear questions from the viewers other than the discussion board, or can they open up a mic at all? No? Okay.
No mic, it's all just typed.
Okay.
You're a Trojan, right, Greg?
Yes, sir.
Just like Dennis is a Trojan.
That's
Ay, Dios mío.
I see you with that shirt, Jose. I didn't want to start no problems up in here, but that's all right.
For fun.
Just let me know when it's in the chat, Dennis.
I think it's coming through.
Yeah, it's a little slow.
Okay. If there are any questions, please feel free to post them. We are monitoring the discussion board. We'd love to hear from you.
How am I planning to move through the fall? I don't know. Like I'm just trying to just be organized, I guess. Make sure I do like obviously my PIQs on time. For those who don't know what PIQs are, just ask the questions you have to answer for UCs. I'm planning to apply to UCLA, UC Berkeley, Stanford, and UC Santa Barbara. But and like yeah, it's scary for sure, but also exciting just knowing that I have this chance to do this. But how am I planning to be a student leader? I guess just make sure whoever needs help with obviously like coming to SMC, like new students to SMC, but also one thing I really emphasize as director of activities, I want to keep that sense of community that we built over the years at SMC, especially like collaborating with clubs and stuff as IS director. But I think I don't really know how to answer this question. That is, am I planning? Yeah.
And that's
Is that
okay
okay?
because I think that's the process. You're still figuring it
Yeah.
out.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
Okay.
And for all the students out there, that's what I would encourage you to do is continue to figure that out. Some of us start off not having a clue as to what it is that we might do, but as we get involved and as we get connected, things get to evolve. And that's the most important thing is, bring it on in. Let's have those conversations. Let's help you figure that out.
I see a question from Denny's R, and it says, "Is there an Instagram for MOCAN?" And the answer is no, not yet, because we actually just started this organization in the aftermath of George Floyd. So this began, I guess, in early June, and we probably started making things a little bit more formal over the summer. What we are also doing, we're going to tip our hands to those of you that are here, is we've been in talks to get student workers, like interns for MOCAN. And that would be a perfect opportunity for somebody to start, a Facebook, Instagram, some type of social media presence for us as an organization, because students know how to get students. And so we're looking for ways in which students can go out there and get more men of color to come in and experience this along the way. So if that's something that you may be interested in, peek your head back in here, because we're still building it, and that could be a great opportunity, because internships are very, very important over the life of your college career.
And I'm also going to put on the discussion board when our first meeting for the fall is. So we will be meeting Thursday, September 17th from 11:15 to 12:30 via Zoom. If you're interested, I'll put the MOCAN email on there, because we sent this email out to almost everybody. But if you are interested, feel free to email us and we'll include you on that list of people who are interested. And that way we'll also keep track. So I will set that right now.
Daniel, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you mind answering that question?
Yeah, I was leave.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah. One thing I recommend is, depending on where your class is, if it's important for your major or anything like that, like turn your camera on, obviously, and like just put yourself out there, say hi to the professor. Like in my experience, a lot of professors I've taken, they love it when like we're active in class with their cameras on, talking, engaging. And one thing I did like in my last summer, well, I didn't do it, but some students did in my last summer class, was they started like a Discord for our class, so students can help each other. Like just like Discord, like just tell like questions or study groups. If you guys are comfortable with that, I recommend it. It's so cool, and actually it's pretty fun if you know how to use Discord. But yeah, just make sure you're like especially if your professor is like a part of like a big person like your major, really make sure they know you. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it. I'm trying to think what else. I'm still pretty new to the Zoom classes. Yeah, I think it's mainly it. Just turn your camera on and talk and engage.
Professor Brookings,
And
as a professor,
obviously form study groups. Like yeah.
Say that again, Jose.
Sorry, I thought Daniel was done, but I said we got the student perspective. How about the professor perspective?
Absolutely. Being plugged in is important. Believe it or not, professors get lonely too. So when you see a bunch of black screens, it's like hard to connect with people. I'm the kind of guy that I'm going to invite you in, though. So I'm going to say, Mr. Hernandez, can you tell me what your thoughts are on blah, blah, blah? So make sure that when you go to class that, you're connecting, because if I can't see his picture, it's kind of hard. Or is he in the restroom? Is he getting something to eat? Is he here? Did he just turn on the screen and go away? So those are some of the things. And what I would also just share is, if you don't know the answer, just say I'm not sure. Because it would be as if in a class I can see that maybe you don't know and you may shake your head. But if you don't say anything, then the instructor is kind of wondering, and so you want that experience to be as robust as you can in making the use of that time. I would encourage you to meet some students in the class. You're meeting some of the leaders of tomorrow. So, you're meeting Daniel now. In your class, you may look back and say, I remember that dude from SMC. He's now over there at Google. So those are some of the things that you guys need to kind of make yourself available for, and particularly, for the shy people, make sure that you say, okay, I'm going to get out of my comfort zone just a little bit so that I can meet somebody, and you'll never know who you might meet here. You may have something in common, and it may take you a long way.
Now, also as a counselor, go ahead, Daniel.
Sorry, yeah, one thing you touched up on was like a lot of people who started like the group chat, it's like Discord, we're student leaders. I know them, like they're all really awesome. So if you see that happening in your class, like definitely be a part of it and just engage with them, because they could be like the future AS president or something on campus. Like, trust me, just go for it. It's scary, but just be friendly and get out of your comfort zone. That's gonna be real fun.
So, and the only other thing I wanted to add as a counselor, one of the things that I always offer my students is, you're not feeling comfortable, not sure how to start that conversation, come into the office with me and we do some role play. And I'll help you practice how you can start that conversation with your professors. Because one of the things you want to take advantage with your professors is their office hour.
Mm-hmm.
Great question in the chat from Esmeralda M says, any advice for the first day of class? Woo, hit that for me, man.
I think that's what we just answered.
Oh, we did. Oh, okay. I guess the other thing may be pay attention in class too, huh?
Well, I pay attention.
Yeah,
but
I think I may have been talking when you guys brought the question. Let me ask.
I would say, sorry, I would just say that one of the big things for your first day of class, know that it can get a bit overwhelming, and understand that it's not only you, it's going to be everybody who's new to the campus and navigating SMC. And know that, things will be okay. Like, you're going to be there for an hour and 15, probably in a Zoom call. And you're like, man, everybody knows everything. Like, it's going to be okay. You're going to leave there and you're going to be like, you know what, I actually did it. I survived my first day. And then it's just a matter of just asking for help. And, and if you're, just being understanding that you're going to come back to it, and knowing that your professor is there based off, what's on your syllabus.
Can I jump back in there from another perspective too? On the first day of class, if you're in a quantitative class like math or accounting or sciences, if you have your books, I would strongly recommend that you read the first chapter, at least half of it, before the first day of class. It will make your life easier. Sometimes it doesn't always work in English and some of the other, disciplines, because sometimes you may go a little bit out of order. But in my class, if you read the first part of in Accounting 1, if you read the first chapter, then when I start lecturing, and I do lecture on the first day of class, then at least you're not a blank palette. And so just being open to maybe getting a little bit ahead. If you get ahead, it's hard to get behind, right? So that's always my motto. Best way to keep from getting behind is to stay ahead.
Dennis, we have a minute left.
Yeah, just wanted to say thank you all. Thank you for attending. This was helpful for us to get to virtually introduce ourselves to you. And again, our meetings will be Thursday, September 17th. Send us an email to mocan@smc.edu, and we'll put you on the list, and we'll send you the Zoom link. But overall, thank you for coming.
Welcome.
We really appreciate it.
Welcome to Santa Monica College.
Welcome.
And welcome to SMC.
Proud to be SMC.
Yeah, welcome,
Senor.
guys.
All right, everyone. Take care.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you. Dennis, I took a screenshot too. Uh-oh. Lost
he
him.
left too.
Daniel, thanks, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course.
All right.
Take care.
Have a great
Bye.
semester. We'll see you around, okay?
You too. Yeah. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, there he is.
I believe Jose is still recording.
Okay. I just want to let you know, I took a picture of the screen. So at one point we had 31 viewers, and I know there's a number of faculty and staff in there because I see Brenda's name as well. So I'll just send that out, and if we decide to do something with it, but it's pretty good, number, I guess, based on what it could have been. So that's great.
Perfect.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right, Greg. I'll see you soon, okay?
All right, take care, buddy. Bye-bye.